Hello people today I want to talk about a book which I recently finished called Ikigai. This book is basically based on Japanese secret of finding a long and a happy life. इसका मतलब author has attempted to answer two most prominent questions which every human is asking right now. First, how to be eternally happy, and second, how to live a long life. Basically the real truth about longevity. Scientists and researchers are spending billions and billions of dollars in answering these two most prominent questions. But author feels Japanese have already mastered the game. So what does this Ikigai word even means? So Ikigai basically came from two Japanese words. The first Iki, which means life, and the second Gai, which means worthwhile. So Ikigai together combines to become a life worthwhile. Many people have described the word Ikigai in their own ways, such as someone told sense of purpose or sense of well-being or the reason of being. But one meaning which stood by me, which stuck to me, is the reason you jump out of the bed each morning. That one thing which sparks the interest in you. Now getting into the book can broadly classified into three things. First, author talks about the food and the diet of Japanese. So author talks about a very interesting phenomena called the 80% rule, which basically means you stop eating when you are almost full, or you stop eating when you feel like you are 80% done. You don't eat to the fullest. Now the author claims that practicing this rule can help you live longer, because once you eat to the fullest, most of your body's energy is consumed by the digestion system. And it also talks about the various foods which Japanese people eat, and especially in the city of Okinawa. And it also talks about the fact that every Japanese drink green tea almost every day, and how green tea can actually help you to live longer. Now the second thing which book talks about is how the gentle exercises can help you live longer, which is quite contrary to the modern belief which promotes high intensive exercises. So book claims that majority of the people who really live longer only do low intensive exercises, or the majority of exercises are only for 20 to 30 minutes a day, but they are active whole day. It also talks about the fact that you should not sit continuously. If your work is related to sitting, you should get up in every 45-50 minutes, because sitting continuously for 30 minutes or more can actually increase your metabolism by 90%. So book talks about four kinds of exercises, or you can call it form of art. So the first form of art which book talks about is radio taiso, which every Japanese people do it on a regular basis. It's like a daily 15-minute routine for them. Book tries to explain it to you through diagrams, but I'll suggest you to go on Google or YouTube to learn about it. So the second form of art which book talks about is yoga, and how yoga can actually help you live longer. It tells about the benefits of yoga, that how yoga can help you align your body with your mind. And it also tells about the benefit of Surya Namaskar and how you should do it on a regular basis. Now the third and fourth form of art which book talks about is Tai Chi and Qigong. These are the Chinese martial arts. Book clears the fact that if you really want to live longer, you need to be at peace and you need to be at rest. So these four exercises can actually help you come at peace and help you align your body with your mind, so which can actually help you live longer. So the third thing which book talks about is how to find your Ikigai, which is basically the major focus of this book. That how to find your Ikigai, the reason to jump out of the bed each morning, how you can find your eternal happiness. So book tells you how to leave urgency behind and start focusing on your purpose. So author basically claims that people who are purpose driven in life lives much longer as compared to people who does not have something to drive. So book basically talks about the four components which human need to be happy. The first component, what do you love? The second component, what does world needs? Now if something you love and something that world needs, if both those things are same, then this is your mission. The third component which book talks about is what you can get paid for. Now if something you can get paid for and even worlds need it, then it becomes your vocation. The fourth component which book talks about is what you are good at. Now if something which you are good at and even you can get paid for it, if both those things are same, congratulations, you have found your profession. Now if you are good at something and you also love doing it, congratulations, you have found your passion. Now if all those things are same for you, then this is your Ikigai. Now that thing can actually make you happy. बट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ अस डज नॉट रियली नो आवर इकिगाई। हमें नहीं पता हमें क्या चीज़ करने से खुशी मिलती है, हमें नहीं पता हमें क्या चीज़ करनी चाहिए। We don't know what our sense of purpose is. Actually, my belief is little contrary to this book. So this book tells you how to find your purpose, but I feel you cannot find your purpose. You have to create your purpose. You have to build your purpose. Because something like purpose which is so enormous, which can actually be your treasure map, how can it be so passive? You have to take charge of it. You have to go down there and do the things to create your purpose. You have to be very proactive in creating your purpose. But now the real problem is how to build your purpose, how to create your purpose. Now to answer this, let's get down to following steps. First, sit down, sit calmly, maybe in a meditation process, or go down for a walk and calm your mind and analyze yourself. Do a self audit, self introspect yourself, and ask yourself few questions, because the kind of questions you will ask yourself will decide everything for you. Now the questions which you can ask yourself are, what are the things which you really love doing? The number of items can go on and on. You can actually love many things. You don't have to stick yourself to only 2 or 3 things. Now the second question which you ask yourself is, what you are good at? Again, the list can go on and on. You can even take inspiration from someone else which you idolize, or from the people who are doing the things which you want to do. After this, make a list of all those things which you have thought of, and then shortlist few of the things which you want to go and try, because now comes the most exciting part, that is go out and do the experiment. Basically, roll up your sleeves and go and check out what suits you. Try experimenting with more and more things possible. Try doing many things possible. If you are young and have a privilege to do anything you want, just go out and experiment with the things you really want to do. Try experimenting with more and more things possible, because you cannot think your way to success. You have to attempt doing many things possible to find out that one real thing which makes you happy, that one thing which sparks the interest in you. You just cannot sit on a couch, think your way to success, because success really needs going out and doing stuff. Doing more and more things will actually give you perspective in a longer term. It will tell you what you are good at, what you are not good at, and more importantly, you will find out whether you can actually put in the efforts for a particular purpose, to pursue particular purpose. Because believe me, purpose does not really mean loving everything you do. You have to look upon in a longer perspective, like 10, 15 or 20 years. Will you love your life at that stage by doing all those things which you are currently doing? If the answer is yes, then great, go on that path. If the answer is no, go and experiment more. Because come on, you don't have to stick by one thing. You can change. You don't have to go through society's blueprint of success. You can create your own path. Believe me, in today's world, you can get paid for anything. Come on, if you look few years ago, do you really think YouTube would have been a career? Do you really think podcast would have been a thing? So I mean to say, you can get paid for anything if you are really good at it. If you really are passionate about something, go and do it. Don't wait for someone else to guide you. Remember one thing which Jeff Bezos said, no matter how much you love your job, but there will be certain parts of your job which you won't love. But you have to do it, because these are the overheads which you pay to become successful. Now if you really want to go on the path of glory, you have to do these things. Now there are also people who cannot go out and experiment, irrespective of the reason what it is. I have one rule for you. That is one for kitchen, one for soul. I don't know who said it, but it really makes sense. If you are at a stage where you cannot leave your paycheck, then you should do simultaneously one thing you really love. Starting may do both the things. First, one for the kitchen, which actually pays you, which actually pays your bill, what you get paid for. Second thing, one for the soul, which basically means do the thing which you really love. वो एक चीज जिससे तुम्हें मोहब्बत है, जिसके लिए ना तुम कुछ भी कर सकते हो, वो चीज साथ में करो. Going forward in the time, choose one thing and incline towards that one thing which you really love. Remember that you are having a biological experience, so learn to manage your neurochemistry. Until you don't really fall in love with the process itself, you won't be truly happy. You have to start romanticizing the journey itself, as Gary Vee said. Believe me, purpose is no goalpost, no benchmark, no trophy. It is the process itself. So you have to fall in love with the process. And tell us in comments box, what is that one thing you want to pursue? And please hit that like button so that YouTube algorithm can help us grow. Thank you.